Good morning. So today we're going to talk about how to make sounds on your instrument. We're going to start off with talking about your string names on viola. Going from the lowest string to the highest string, it's C, G, D, and then A. I always ask students to come up with a mnemonic device, which is a way to help remind you what the string names are. And you could say like chimps, go, do, art. You can come up with your own, but that's one that I remember that 6th graders did this year. So knowing that, you're going to learn to play on each of these strings today, and you can just kind of play around with it. So before you put your bow on the string, you need to know where it goes. So these two fancy holes are called your F holes. We want to try to get our bow so they're right on top of the F holes. It's right in between the bridge and the fingerboard, which is the black thing right here. So right in the middle is our best sounding point. So when we bow, we want to make sure that our bow is set there, and we set at the frog. So when you get set up, make sure you set your bow hand first, then do your, let's see, I gotta get this so you can see my arm. I'm gonna do the instrument out, turn in up. Let's see, yeah, you should be able to see my arm. All right, so we take our bow, we set it on the string at the frog in that middle section, and then I'm gonna ask you to bring your other arm around and hold this arm, because we only want to move from the elbow, not the shoulder. The shoulder will make terrible noises. We don't want that. We want just the elbow. You can see I'm not using my whole bow. I'm only using about half of it. So from frog to about middle point of the bow. And I'm not letting my shoulder move, just my elbow. So I would like you to start, let's try it on the A string first. So set your bow on the highest string. Your elbow is very close to your body. And then start at the frog and move down bow only from the elbow. You can try different rhythms like Mississippi River or Grasshopper, Grasshopper, or what you want to do. Then go ahead and you're going to lift this elbow a little bit. You'll be on the D string. This is a little harder to balance on, but same thing, starting towards the bottom of the bow, hold onto your arm, and play a couple times. Do whatever rhythms you want. Lift it again so you're on the next lowest string, which is the G. And then finally lift your elbow even farther so that you are playing completely on the lowest string, C. And again, holding on here so we don't swing. We don't want that. We want to keep our bow straight. Okay. So practice that for a little while. Get used to staying on one string or another. And if you feel like you're hitting another string, adjust how far your elbow is going up and down. Really, the adjustment comes through your shoulder, but you can feel it at your elbow level. It's like being a chicken. So now when it comes to putting fingers down on your instrument, you have a fuzzy over here on the side, and this is where your thumbprint goes. So it'll be like that. And then you're going to connect the bottom part of your hand. Ooh, this is really hard. You have a line right here that should connect with your fingerboard, the black part. So when you, ooh, that's hard to show. When you have your instrument up, you can kind of see it. There's just a little hole. My hand is always open there. And then we place one finger on each tape, 2, 3. You'll eventually use 4th finger, but we don't need to worry about that now. So it's really, really, really important, this is super huge, that when you place your finger, it is curled, it is on its tip, and not only is it on its tip, it's on something called your inside corner. So when you look at your hand, the side of your finger that's closest to your thumb is where it actually gets placed on the string. So this side of your finger, closest to your thumb. So I'm going to turn around here to try to show you that better. So instrument out, turn up, and getting really close. Good. So you can see when I place my finger, it's on the inside corner. I'll do it on the C string so you can see it better. Inside corner, and they're super, super square. Every single knuckle is bent, just like this. And so you can try playing on each string, just doing no fingers, 1, 2, 3, no fingers, 1, 2, 3. When you're feeling like you can place your fingers on the inside corners and keep your wrists straight. So one thing I forgot to mention is when you place, of course, always put your hand down. Thumb gets placed and it points to the ceiling, because if it points backwards, my wrist will be crooked. If it points forwards, my wrist will be crooked. So point your thumb tip to the ceiling. Fingers are up and above and super square. You can try playing and just make sure your fingers are firmly on the string, but you're not squeezing. You don't want to squeeze and your hand collapse. They just are enough on there that the string goes down. So say on my C string I want to play, I'll put At the Frog and I'll play Mississippi River. I'll go, place my first finger inside corner. It's called D for the pitch. And then I place my next finger on the inside corner. It's called E. Next finger, it's called F. We're going to avoid fourth finger, so just go to the next string, play it, it's called G. Place first finger, inside corner, see my wrist is still straight. By the way, that pitch was called A. Place your next finger, it's called B. And for a moment there, I touched my C string just a little bit and I dropped my elbow, so I kept on my G string. I'll do it one more time, B. And now, third finger is called C. So, try that out, see if you can play that. It's called your C major scale. You can do the same pattern starting on your D string going onto the A string. It'll sound like this. D string. First finger is called E. F sharp, second finger. Third finger is called G. Then A, so I'm dropping my arm. B is first finger. Second finger on the tape is called C sharp. Third finger is called D. So to be something to be really careful about is you have to be perfectly on the tapes. Close to the tapes doesn't work. That is out of tune. You're either in tune or out of tune. We always want to be in tune. So practice that today. You're not using music. You're practicing your bow hand. You're practicing putting your instrument up in the right place, setting the bow on the string, playing without fingers. And when you can do that accurately, go ahead and try to add your fingers. But be slow. Slow is really good in the beginning.